Alright, we'll get started here in a few minutes. Welcome to another live stream. This is Total OS Today, Total Technology for Beginners and Beyond. Well, the next Ubuntu is scheduled to be released in about a month. Ubuntu 18.04, featuring the Gnome desktop. So I had a poll set up this past week, and apparently a lot of you do not prefer the Gnome desktop for Ubuntu. And we'll talk about your comments, quite a few comments. I'll go through these as quickly as I can. We'll give this a few more minutes. If you haven't already, check out the latest Life in Linux podcast number 4 from last night with myself and Tom from Switched to Linux. We talked about, can you erase yourself from the internet? Can you? You'll have to watch the show to find out. So today is Sunday, March 11th. I'm feeling better. I had a rough week. Sinus infection. I was addicted to Sudafed. Thank God for Sudafed. It did help. Not 100%, but I am better. Miserable week. Sudafed, got to finish my taxes. Couldn't breathe at night going to bed. Breathing through my mouth, and then you wake up in the morning with a dry mouth. It's like, ugh, what a taste. Ugh. Anyway. Farron, Rick, KO2610, Timo, welcome. Color Pixel. Is this your first time on the show, Color Pixel? Color Pixel does not ring a bell. Trump told to mute Twitter critics, not block them, by New York judge. Oh man. I never thought I would enjoy watching cartoons again, but I'm having a blast anyway. Rick, you're gonna go into rehab, so be away for a bit. Hope it's not too long of a rehab. Burger flipping robot taken offline after one day. My thoughts on MX17, from what I've tested, it's terrific. Yeah, I think it's awesome. Lightweight, I think it's fine for beginners to get started as an option. I think so. I just did a fresh install of Linux Mint on one of my ThinkPads. I erased Windows on that machine. Yay! Only on that machine. But yeah, MX17 is perfectly fine. Not very often. Okay, Color Pixel, welcome. So what we're gonna do with this one, I'm gonna go through probably all of these comments as quickly as I can. It seems that a lot of you, or the ones that commented, do not prefer Gnome as the default Ubuntu desktop. You either like Plasma or something else, a very high percentage, which is not surprising. But I think Gnome is getting better. Yeah. It's not my favorite. I still prefer Ubuntu Mate for simplicity and speed. Music from the YouTube audio library featuring a mainly silent partner, JR Tundra and Jingle Punks. For the background tunes, very nice. If you would like to support the channel, please do. There are links below in the show notes. I currently use PayPal. can also use the Amazon link. Losing the option for desktop icons better. I don't think losing anything is better, Farron. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about letting the user choose what to switch on or off, or lose, or find, as it were. That's my opinion. So, yeah. So what is the future of the Linux desktop? We'll talk about that. Color Pixel, you prefer KDE. A lot of you seem you prefer that over GNOME. Alright, one more minute or so, then we'll go right into these comments as quickly as I can. I don't want to make this too long. Why would anybody want a BlackBerry? Feds bust CEO allegedly selling custom BlackBerry phones to to a drug cartel. Nice. Hey man, we gotta sell some loads. We need a burner phone, man. We need a BlackBerry phone, okay? Jeez. Twitter suspends accounts known for stealing tweets. Huh? There's a market for stealing tweets? That's interesting. Yes, Ubuntu Bionic Beaver is now available for download. Beta 1. Let's go to your comments. Anybody else swings by, please say hello. ZBD is in the house. Welcome. A fellow schmuck. Right, Z? That was fun last night. Mr. Peppermint OS himself and a dual booter on multiple machines, right, Z? Da, 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 da. You're on Ubuntu 18.04. I installed that on my ThinkPad, but I had lots and lots and lots of screen tearing, so I had to delete it. Color Pixel, yeah, I tried it, and it just wasn't hardware compatible, at least for that machine, and it can happen. So I had to go back to Linux Mint. No big deal. That's right, Z. That's right. We are master schmucks. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, according to the terrific Brian Lunduke, dual booters are schmucks. So here we go. Alright. Alright, Tim. Get to your duties. And please your wife with your duties. I got things to do today also. But run through this podcast, this live stream, and then do what I have to do. But okay, Tim. Alright, let's go to your comments, and I'll go through these as quickly as I can. Donald Bon. Hello, Donald. Ubuntu has a history with GNOME, clearly, and GNOME has an elegant simplicity, which is nice, but Plaza is likely more flexible. I would say so. In some areas for the average user, but a happy medium ground would have to be found, since I've tried Plasma and found it a challenge to work with and not always as dependable. Just experience your experience with the platforms. The latest Plasma that I've tested seem okay, but yeah, there's no question Plasma is more flexible. The Moon Imani, hello. Switching from Unity to GNOME is more rational. Since Unity, correct me if I'm wrong, has so many GTK based stuff, and just going back to GNOME was easier than going Qt all the way. And GNOME looks like Unity lens. The Unity lens was so familiar to GNOME. There is a good point here. I guess it did seem more rational, at least for Canonical, who makes Ubuntu, to go from Unity to GNOME. Yeah, and I wrote, seems logical. Hello, Chris. How are you? KDE is the best desktop. Oh, a lot of you do. This is from Distro User. That's his name. I have tried KDE Plasma so many times and always found Dolphin, the file manager, buggy, sluggish when moving files. Really? That's the last thing I've noticed with Dolphin. To me, it's always been one of the fastest. And he likes XFCE. Gets your vote. Very good. Again, another person who does not care for GNOME. Willem. Have to go for Cinnamon for Windows users that want to switch to Linux. Cinnamon is the best way for easy, familiar, and easy to use. Okay, I have Linux Mint Cinnamon. Also, it is very good. Coding Commanders. One of my favorite Linux users from Florida. She has good news. Her new job is letting her use Ubuntu instead of Red Hat. Awesome. Dobril says yes. Oh yes. Let's see, Linuxian. I personally thought they should have taken a took the Bungie to be slightly different. Yeah, Ubuntu, Bungie seems to be a happy medium with Bungie. Looks pretty good. I would have to agree. Abdelatif Zuliga, hello. Plasma, very good. All right, Bearwolf, whatever can garner the most attention. GNOME, of course. Interesting. There was a comment here. Someone needed help. Narwa Sully, what's your recommended USB microphone for YouTube videos? Yeah, I posted. Check out the Blue Yeti Snowball mics. Are very good. I have multiple mics, so I'm not going to buy another one. But if I was going to buy one, the Snowball and the Blue Yeti mics, they come in different colors, silver, black, are very good. And they are fully Linux compatible. Ariel Infante, hello. Is Yeti compatible with Linux Debian 9? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, let's move along. Rob Holt, Plasma over GNOME. However, Ubuntu Mate has been honed into a really polished and stable distro with some heavyweights, such as Martin Wimpress, Alan Pope, and Ike Doherty working on it. Surely that would be the more logical choice. They even have the Mutiny layout. I could not agree more, right, Z? Yeah. Ghosty, I agree with Joe. They should have gone with XFCE. Very good. John Ferris, I use Ubuntu, so my answer is self-explanatory. There we go. Excuse me. Tim F. What's up, man? Dorinakis. No, XFCE or Budgie. Very good. Alex Agape. Hello, Alex. Totally. I have used Plasma for a year now. Best desktop environment, period. Need I say more? Pradesh, Plasma. Let's see. Tipasi 2020 says, although I do not use Plasma, yes, Ubuntu should have used Plasma. Adam Vitali likes Plasma. Let's see. DistroTube. Hello, Derek. GNOME or KDE would run neither. Would never run either. But GNOME is the better choice for Ubuntu in that it can mimic Unity a bit better, yeah, and they were already using mostly known apps in Unity. Okay, well, I guess that's why they went with it, but Plasma can mimic Unity. Let's see, Sergey, hello Toss and Derek, I totally agree with Derek. Ubuntu had GNOME 2 by default, and it had Unity, which embraces the GNOME version. It is logical they would go for GNOME 3 rather than Plasma. Okay. David Wolnick. Dawid. Hello. Yes, Plasma, he says. Very good. Linux Mangaka. No, he said. Unlike all of you, I vote to no, not because of Plasma. Seems nobody noticed. If Ubuntu choose NED as their flagship, they'll inject Amazon Fungus button. The Amazon Fungus button into that spin. Okay. I'd rather throw that flagship to GNOME for a scapegoat. It's already good enough that they don't pick other flagships. Do you still remember old Gnome 1604? Doesn't have Amazon, but I guess you really don't like the Amazon thing, do you? So you pick Ubuntu. Very good. Linux user says XFCE. Joe Johnson says, while Plasma is much better than Gnome, Canonical should have chosen XFCE. Okay. Barking Bandicoot. 3 answers. As someone who loves Plasma. Number 1, the Gnome DE seems to be more in line with Ubuntu. Yeah. There is the flavor of Ubuntu, but Ubuntu could perhaps support and promote it as a default DE alongside of Gnome. Who cares? Number 3, Plasma has KDE Neon. Neon, it's claimed, is less stable than Ubuntu, but the improvements and performances of Neon in the last 2 months has been phenomenal. Well, there you go. Lamarck. Hello, Lamarck. Prefer Budgie than Gnome. Very good. Grapple Hammer. Hello. I think they should have done Plasma, and I'm debating switching to Ubuntu, even though it's in the middle of the semester. Well, if you're using it for school, I'd wait till the finalized version. Plasma should be faster, yes. That's what I wrote. A-Bear. Hello, A-Bear. I prefer Qt over GTK any day. GTK seems like it's in a frantic mess, with a lot of GTK2 developers saying they'll port to GTK3, but upon inspection, examples being Audacious, and I forgot the others that would prefer KDE. Another Plasma person. Rod J Linux. I wish Ubuntu had gone with Plasma myself, as I've been a Ubuntu user for some years now. I switched from Ubuntu when Unity came along. Plasma is certainly my desktop of choice. So I'm biased, I guess, but I can see why they probably didn't go the Plasma way. Okay, alright. Hello, Steven. Linux Smiths, 0 problems with Cinnamon. Very good. Oscar Marquez. Unity was the desktop that made Ubuntu popular. Keep Unity. I would have to agree. Linux and other stuff, anything but Gnome. Okay, I choose Windows 10. Haha. So Pixel Loving Nerd says prefer XFCE to Plasma. Plasma is a better choice. You hate Gnome. And Rita. Well, if I had to choose, I too would go with Plasma, but it looks sexy. But on the other hand, XFCE. Yeah, okay, you're an XFCE person. Okay, okay. Deviation 242. Gnome is cancer. Windows is the therapy, chemotherapy. Just joking. I don't like KDE much, but it has a lot more going for these days. They could have made it really. They could have made a really slick UI instead of Gnome's limitations and resource use. Yeah. But for the sheer ease of use and for me demonstrated stability, I've gone with Cinnamon for years. KDE always seems like a good version followed up by 2 which are horrific. You canned your Pop OS last night and threw KDE Neon on your main machine, okay? Wasn't Canonical trying to mimic the Unity DE, and the best way to do that with fixed desktop? Well, I guess they're trying to mimic it somewhat with Gnome. But anyway, where were we here? MyA1, MYA1. Hello, you personally prefer Plasma over Gnome 3. However, I can understand why Ubuntu opted for Gnome desktop environment over the KDE. With Plasma also comes the whole family of KDE apps too. And had Ubuntu choosing Plasma over Gnome 3 would have been chaos for the Ubuntu users to embrace not only the new desktop environment, but also the whole... I'm not so sure about that, but be it as it may. So in my opinion, it's a wise decision by Ubuntu, although I would have choose Plasma anytime over Gnome. There we go. Gnome 3 environment is rubbish, to say the least. Hello, Bert. Nijoff, they should have chosen Ubuntu Mate. Da, 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 da. Plasma is only interest in running good on my next more powerful desktop, and it has been like that for at least 10 years. It always needed more CPU power than I had available. Why swap one power memory hugging desktop for another? Ubuntu 18.4 is using more memory than Windows 10. Yeah, that is certainly possible. C128D says anything then that abomination. Gnome 3. Okay. Festina Lente says no, period. Definitely a pattern here, right guys? James Spence says Plasma is a front end, the GUI or desktop environment for Ubuntu already. That's why there's Kubuntu, although I think I see where you're going with this, Joe. There I say, should Canonical have taken Plasma and made it look like Unity or even Gnome 3? Maybe you already know that it is already possible to make KDE Plasma, yes, look mostly like Unity. That is true. So your poll should bring a few interesting responses. Yeah, I agree. I say no to the question. You use KDE. Very good, James. User 365. I generally like Plasma more, but for Ubuntu specific Gnome is my pick. Huh, okay. But for Ubuntu specifically Gnome is your pick. Okay, mainly for historical reasons. Interesting. Ubuntu is pretty stable and well made for everyone out there who likes Ubuntu KDE plus KDE. Okay, alright. Hey, we got Tim F says, I toss my thoughts. On one hand, yes, they should have first and foremost Plasma offers something out of the box that Gnome can, and that's familiarity with Windows and users making a switch to Linux. The bottom panel, menu in the lower left, and clock. Yeah, that's what I would say. Let's see. On the other hand, no. Glad they have chosen Gnome. Not sure I'll explain this right, but I'll try. Ubuntu with Unity DE established a following. Yes, it did. Some of them being new converts to Linux, and they learned something new. True. Now, yes, I know you can do quite a bit with newest Plasma, but that customization could come at expense, as a new to Plasma user could really botch their system. I'm not so sure about that, guys. What do you think? Could a newbie Plasma user botch their system? Gnome keeps things quite a bit more locked down, therefore giving a fair amount less of an opportunity for a user unfamiliar with Plasma to really screw up their S. Okay, fair enough. I kind of think that when a Windows Mac person asks what distro they should try first, in many cases Ubuntu just rolls off the tongue. Yep. They were the pioneers of bringing the Ubuntu to the masses. I mean, that's how I see it. I'm not one of them, but it seems to be recommended more than my favorite to recommend, which is Mint. Yes, yes, I love Mint also. Just your thoughts. Okay, cool. Noah Bachman, no, I really dislike Plasma. It's so annoying. Okay. Plasma is overcomplicated with pieces of system settings. I guess it can be fair, and yeah. But at least you have the option to customize, where Gnome you really don't. At least not without extensions. Don McCullough. Let's see. You vote no. While I like Plasma, I think it would have been a better shock. It would have been a bigger shock change than going from Gnome 2 to Unity and back to Gnome 3, and would possibly confuse Angered more than it already has in regard to Ubuntu being slammed for lack of consistency. Interesting. At least they are trying now. Okay. Let's see here. Is that it? Am I to the bottom? I guess I am. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Zachary Jones did reply. The great thing about Plasma, though, is that it can be made to work very similar to Unity. Yes. What's to stop Canonical from just customizing the desktop a bit? Nothing. Alright, let's see here. The main boon of KDE Plasma is that for Win 7 and up users, it may be easier to slide into the UI, and as the UI will look similar. Yes. Pedro Rosato. Hello, Pedro. Yes, but I may be biased, as Plasma has always been my preferred desktop environment. No, there's no reason to feel biased. Use what you like and use what works. So there you have it. A majority of you would have chosen something else other than Gnome, than the Gnome desktop. So what is the future? I pose to you guys a question before I give you my thoughts. What is the future of the Linux desktop? Any thoughts? I have Ubuntu installed on one of my on my Toshiba, and you need that runs. That has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that's the minimum you need, in my opinion, to make it run fairly comfortably. Anything less than 4 gigs, it's probably not going to run very smooth, in my opinion. Tim, my sinuses are still a little stuffed, as you can probably hear, just not as bad. In fact, I need to take another Sudafed to grab something to drink. But yeah, not as bad, but still a little stuffed. My cousin Lisa did the right thing. She headed down to Florida. She was in Key West for the weekend. She was the smart one. Alright, so the future of the Linux desktop. I'm not sure. I thought it would have been maybe Ubuntu with Unity and this whole idea with convergence. That did not work out. I think for new users, I think simplicity is the best way to go, at least in the beginning. That's why I've chosen Ubuntu Mate, Linux Mint Mate. I think the Mate desktop in general, for future converts from Windows to Linux, I think the Mate desktop is probably my #1 choice. But as far as what is the future in general for the Linux desktop, I don't know. At this point, I really don't know. All I can advise is pick the top 5 or so for new users, such as Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Linux Lite, Peppermint OS. That's how I feel about it. A mix between Cinnamon and Qt, which is expandable yet simple, and it's complementary by its set of applications as well. Okay. AJ, hello. You installed 50 systems Linux Mint. First time Linux users, all are happy. Very good. But use KDE is the best. Okay. I can see Linux Mint desktop at you know, Best Buy or Walmart or something like that. I could see that because it just works out of the box. I think once KDE really gets the bugs ironed out, which they're doing a damn good job of, that the Plasma DE will take off quite a bit more. Low resource usage. Yeah, it's definitely polished and it feels a lot. It is a lot faster. But perhaps the Mate desktop is a good balance between, you know, not overly complicated in terms of system settings, customizations, but just enough there for the newbie to get comfortable with something new. I think the Mate desktop is a good balance. I do have Linux Mint Cinnamon in my other ThinkPad, and it seems okay. Yeah. So those are my thoughts. If I had to pick a desktop environment, for the future for Linux, it would have to be Mate, because I think it strikes a good balance for newbies. Strictly my opinion. Alright, let's check out a few news items. Then we're going to wrap this up. I need to take another pill. Let's go to Linux Today real quick. Then we'll check out some news, some nonsense news. A lot of people like deep in desktop. It's never worked for me. Anarchy Linux, Arch Linux made easy. Okay. FreeTube, an open source desktop YouTube player for privacy-minded people. Oh, let's take a look at that. That's interesting. I have to check out FreeTube. You agree with me, Tim? That may would be a better first step into the Linux world in regards to Ubuntu, but you can't say that without mentioning Mint. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is fine. Yeah, I just think Mate might be a little bit easier off the bat. Just my personal opinion, but Cinnamon is fine. I think Mate might be a little bit less resource heavy than Cinnamon. Possibly. Deepen. English Bob loves it? Okay, well, I think it's junk, but that's my personal opinion. Anyway, I might have to check out FreeTube. Yes, English Bob loves many desktops. That is true. We never say too many Arch made easy distros until Manjaro gained it. But that is true. That is true, Tim. Yeah. Yep. Steve Winkler says, I'm a Peppermint 8 user. I love the XFCE LXD desktop and suit. Yeah, I think Peppermint 8, that is on my top 5 list for beginners, Steve. I would totally agree. It's fast, zippy, easy out of the box. Absolutely. Guys, give me a minute. I need to take another Sudafed. I have to grab a drink out of the little freezer in the garage. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Alright, let me grab another red pill here. If you ever get stuffed sinuses, ask the pharmacist for generic Sudafed. It works. I take one about every 6 hours, but of course if you're not sure, ask your doctor, of course. But for me, about every 6 hours. I normally take it with food. Anyway, okay, where are we here? Last time you tried Mate, it's about 50, 60 less on resources. Yeah, that's why I like Mate. I have I think that ThinkPad T60 with just 2 gigs of RAM. I have Mate or Mate on it. He totally loves Deepin for totally not nonsense reasons. Okay. I couldn't get it to work. I tried to do updates. It would take like 6.5 years to download up. It was just ridiculous. So I tried it twice too, and it just didn't work. Alright, so I think we're done with this web's page. Let's finish up with some mod news, shall we? Go to UPI. Curious quokka licks cyclist pedals in Western... I don't know what a quokka is. That's in Western Australia. Truck loses drags 2 wheels on Oregon Road. Yep, how would you like to have that come flying at you at the highway? $0.06 sends woman back into store for winning lottery ticket. Florida police celebrate Harry start the spring break. Okay. Yeah, I think this was the same as it was 3 days ago. Nothing really new here, huh? Machine solves Rubik's Cube in 0.38 seconds. That's impressive. Wow. Starbucks allows Arizona teen to order drive-through on horseback. Very good. Penguins mess with camera, pose for selfie. Haha. British transport officer accidentally handcuffs himself to rail. Texas bakers to try for largest dog cake world record. A dog cake. Toddler locks mother's iPhone for 47 years. Hello Willem, you are running MX17 beta, 17.1 beta a few days. Now that I'm pressed, all I use on a daily basis. I'm not a big fan of XFCE. Yes, MX17 is pretty good. Yes. Let's go to a different website. I've already talked about some of these about 3 days ago or so, I think. Hamster flushed down toilet after being rejected from flight. Aww. Nothing there. Let's go to Autoblog. Man, I cannot make this stuff up. A man drives stolen car to court to answer car theft charge. Man drives stolen car to court to answer. Wow. That's funny. Cops waited for him after he left the court. But of course. Goodyear rolls out moss-filled tire that releases oxygen. That's interesting. Stink bugs freeze Japanese cars import to New Zealand. Yeah. Pothole season hits hard across the eastern US. Duh. And nothing too funny there. Alright, enough of that. You think the choices we have as Linux users are just amazing? Yeah. When it comes down to it, you truly have the ultimate ability to make the system your own. Yeah. Steve, I mean, it can be a bit overwhelming for newbies. That's why I'm here. But yeah, it's nice to have at least some choices. Absolutely. Man drives stolen car to court. That falls into the category of too many nuts, not enough squirrels. Well, what else can I say, Tim? Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Former manager, Department of Defense, threat program, UFOs are real. We already know that. Nightclub shuts down after woman. After woman was what? Woman rides horse into crowd of party goers. Okay. Let's see here. Every lawyer in Utah just received a picture of boobs. I don't get it. Burnt bagel forces St. Louis airport evacuation on freezing night. Ugh. Ugh. Man rams armored vehicle into shop just for one bottle of wine. Huh? What did somebody say about nuts and squirrels, Tim? In Moscow. Ah, those freaking Russians, comrade. They are nuts. Yeah. Anyway. Alright, enough of that. We're going to wrap this up here. Final thoughts, final comments about GNOME, Plasma, the future of the Linux desktop. I think at least some of us agree that Mate may be the best choice for the future of a Linux desktop. At least for beginners. Chromium is pretty good. It's pretty fast. Yep, I browser hop. Yep, I have Vivaldi, I have Brave browser, Chrome, Chromium, Firefox. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up. So there you have it. Those were a look at some of your comments, my comments on GNOME, Plasma, and the future of the Linux desktop. Interesting to see what happens here after the latest Ubuntu is released. I think I'll keep it on my Toshiba for a while. At least it's stable. You know, I have enough RAM in it, so what the heck, I might as well keep it on there. You know, Ubuntu was my first date into Linux many moons ago. So Ubuntu does have a certain affection in my heart, I guess. Stephen, you have a wonderful Sunday. Also, always a pleasure and a joy to chat with you guys. Once again, check out the Life in Linux podcast last night with myself and Switch to Linux. We talked about can you erase yourself off the internet? So check that out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and support the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. That's it. All of you have a terrific day also. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll keep the chat up here for another minute or two, but we are done.